Hey, Brent Naylor here, and I am going to do a recap on Lake Chicamauga for the Bass Pro Tour. The TV show just aired this last weekend on Discovery, and I didn't have a great tournament. I mean, it was a great tournament in hindsight. I ended up in the teens, but I didn't make that final cut. I didn't make that, final day and have a chance to win the tournament. But I had a lot of fun. I had the bites to make it. I was on the right pattern to do well and just didn't quite get the bites, get all the fish in the boat. So it was a fun event. Lake Chicamauga is a great place. I caught several 5, 6, and the biggest fish I caught that week in the tournament was a little over 7 pounds. So really a lot of fun. It was in the spring. The fish were staging. They were pulling up. Some fish were spawning. The 7-pounder that I caught, I think, was spawning. I didn't actually see it, but my whole pattern was just running real shallow wood, lay downs, little sticks in the back of small little pockets. And I had basically 2 approaches to that. One was a bait caster. And what I was doing is I was using my 7.3 medium heavy, multi-purpose rod. And this rod I use for so many different things. I mean, I flip pitch with it. I throw spinner baits, buzz baits, swim baits, small swim baits. It's just an all around, multitasker. I mean, that's why we designed this rod was to do everything. And I used a Tatula 100 reel and a 7.1 gear ratio. And what I did is I put 18-pound shooter on there. Now, the thing I like about 18-pound shooter is that it's light enough to where I can get a good fall in a bait. It's very manageable, very easy to use, but it's heavy enough that I can skip this and pitch it around, wood and lay downs and have enough power to get those fish, out of there when I actually hook them. And what I did for that is I took a Yamamoto flapping hog, and what I typically do is I take the bait like this and I take the top legs off. And what this does is it creates a planing surface. It's a very smooth bait and it wants to plane, meaning that when it falls, it really glides a lot. And what I did is I took a Gamakatsu heavy cover 4/0 Texas rig hook, and I pegged a 1/8 ounce Eagle Claw tungsten weight with the Eagle Claw bobber stop. And I used a real light weight. I used an 1/8 ounce weight. And the neat thing about that 1/8 ounce weight with the flapping hog, there's a lot of salt in here, so it's fairly heavy. I can pitch it, cast it, skip it. But when it falls, it doesn't fall straight down. It really likes to glide. So I'm skipping this and pitching around laydowns. When it hits the water, it really planes a long ways and has a more lifelike fall to it. It's amazing how many more bites you can get on a bait like that falls slow and will glide instead of falling straight down. So the 1/8 ounce weight was key for that. And anytime I got around real big nasty laydowns, I would do that, or I'd cast it to real small pieces of sticks, right on the shoreline. The fish were really shallow. I think every fish I caught was in probably less than 3 feet of water. And that did a bulk of how I caught them. The other thing I did was I took my drop shot rod, spinning rod. This is the Tatula Elite 7-1 drop shot rod. Really, I designed it for a drop shot, but it's a multi-purpose rod. I can do everything with it. So paired that with a Tatula LT 4000. I put Sunline 12-pound braided line on here. And what I did is I actually used a 14-pound sniper leader. Now, normally a spinning outfit for me is always 12-pound braid to 8-pound leader. But this time I went to a 14-pound leader because I was throwing around lay downs and sticks, and I didn't want to hook a big fish and lose it on a stick, or lay down. So what I was doing is I was just wacky rigging a Senko, and I was taking a size 1 stinger, Gamakatsu stinger hook, weedless stinger that I designed for Gamakatsu. I designed specifically for a Senko. That thing is so good for wacky rigging and throwing a Mako rig. You land so many more fish with it. It's unbelievable. Plus it has the little titanium weed guards on it, so I can pitch it and cast it around laydowns. And this worked great when the fish were ultra shallow. I caught a lot of fish where I would cast it to the dirt in the back of a small little pocket. those fish that are staging, they're going up, they're running, they're trying to spawn. They haven't completely spawned yet, but they're up and milling around. They're up shallow. And I was catching fresh fish that would pull up every single day with that Senko. So the combination of the flapping hog and the Senko, I finished in the teens. I had the bites. You just can't land every fish over the course of 3 days. But really fun event. Got some great points and had a fun time watching it on Discovery Channel. The Bass Pro Tour is doing a great job and took us to some great venues, and Lake Chicamauga did not disappoint. All this stuff right here is available on tacklewarehouse.com. I have a wish list set up. Just check out my wish list. I'll add a link to the Bass Pro Tour, Lake Chicamauga, and all these products will be on there. You can pick and choose what you want. The colors I used were just green pumpkins. You know, I like everything real natural this time of year, and didn't disappoint. So check everything out, and we'll see you at the next one.